What's up, everybody? I'm Elizabeth Muller, founder of Bloom Creative Company. Thanks for stopping by the YouTube channel today. Before we jump into this video's training, I want to tell you about our community over here at Bloom. It's a monthly subscription to even more Squarespace trainings on getting started, marketing, SEO, and strategy. And as a thank you for being here, in the notes below, click on the link to get your free guide on how to turn your website into a client generator. As always, thanks for being here. Let's dive in. Map. So here it's got Squarespace. We're just going to leave that there. I'm using 2 fingers on my mouse pad to zoom in and out. It's kind of like it is a Google map, but works just like it would if you were on googlemaps.com. Add the address in there. This is a great hack for SEO. If you are a brick and mortar business, definitely put a map in your site because that will help with being found. Now in design, this looks a little different from 7.0, but this is where you would pick what you want your map to look like. I'm always a big fan of this one. That's what I usually go towards. You can have the labels, you can have the terrain, and controls, which would appear right here. And then again, if you want the map bigger, smaller, you can drag it. You can go here, or you could even bring it in between other blocks, change the size, and there you can have like a nice square map on the page. Markdown. This requires a little bit of code, so you'd have to upgrade your feature. We can do a whole other video on this because it's a little bit tricky. A markdown is if you were to have links at the top of your page that jump down the page to content. So if you had categorized an article with categories in it and you want to link down the page, or services, and you don't want a different page for each service, you can mark them down. That would be something there. A summary. This is where you would have link your blog, which I don't. Do I have one linked? Okay, this is the this is part of the template. So this is having a blog here. You can add any of the metadata here. So if you don't want anything, or you want the author, you click that there. It changes tags. I guess there aren't any. You can filter the items by categories or tags, or featured. So the way you set up your blogs, you would add a category tag, and then there's a checkbox for featured content, and that's how it would reflect here. Under design, this is where you would change how it looks on the feed. So here's a carousel. If there's more, there would be an arrow here, a list, and a grid, and then you can change how many items you want per row. Carousel. And then you can change the aspect ratio. So if you upload your blog thumbnails as squares, you would want to come in here and make it a square. If they're more vertical or horizontal images, you would go in here and have it reflect it, and that way you wouldn't have the images cut off. And then text size goes without saying. Justification, put it in the middle. Change that header text. You can delete it, leave it, and then the elements that you want shown. So read more. You can take the excerpt out, take the thumbnail out, whatever works best for you. And then you can change where the title goes. I thought it would jump up there. Anyway, that is your summary block. Let's keep moving along here. Social links. You would add, and then you need the www.instagram.com/your name, or however it pulls up in Google. Same with Facebook, www.facebook, same with LinkedIn, any social feed, youtube.com/ to make sure it's there. And this is where you would change the look of your icons. So you can always just play around here. It goes without saying where you want them set up, how big you want them, how small you want them. And then images. So you would click here to add an image. You could search for images. So if I click search, and I can go to free images, say we like that one. Those are all images from Canva, and they are free and royalty free. So you can just click an image, search for one in there. They're all really nice looking images. I love Canva's stuff. And then you can edit the image here. If you want to make it black and white, brighten it up a little bit. A couple options here. You can crop it, and then add a filter if you needed to. Then you'd come over here and hit save. And then you can add a caption if you want. You can link this image to another page on your site or even another website. So you can get really creative with that. And then for SEO, I would always recommend changing that file name to something that reflects your websites or a keyword so that if people are searching, you pop up, they land on your site. Now for design, these are the different types of image designs you could do. You can have a poster, which has the text overlaid, a card, which is on the side. You could change the position of the image, overlap, collage, and stack where the information is down below. And then, which is really cool, you can do animation. So as you scroll down the site, your image would kind of fade up. Video, YouTube and Vimeo links here. Custom thumbnail, you can have it on or off. You can upload your own custom one if you would like it on there. And then the caption that will pull from YouTube. Or, I'm sorry, you can write it here. We're going to keep moving through. Spacer, we already kind of covered. You can add that spacer, pick it up, put it wherever you want. Move it around. And then let's do a quote. I'm going to click and hold this time, and I'm going to drag it to exactly where I want it to go. So I don't want it here. I don't want it up here. Let's say I want it at the bottom. Make sure that blue line covers the space that I want it to go. And then you put your quote in here, source, and then you can have an animation if you want to as you scroll. Embed, this is if you need to embed a video or content. The URL goes here. And then code block if you're adding any code. I don't talk about any code in these videos because we try to keep everything super simple so you're confident in managing your site, so everything is easy for you. So we won't be covering any of that, but that is where you can find that block. Calendar, this will pull from an actual calendar page, so you need to go back and make the calendar page, populate it, and then the calendar will reflect here. And then lastly, for this video, a chart. I've actually never used a bar chart before for any of my clients, but this is where you could create pie chart, line chart, bar chart with the information that you want to display, which is kind of cool. Thanks again for joining us. Let us know in the comments below if you have any training requests. We'd love to help you. And head over to our website to join our community and get even more trainings on Squarespace. Thanks again for being here. I'm Elizabeth Moeller, founder of Bloom Creative Company.